Hello everybody and welcome along to Motorland Aragon. We're live here from the middle of Spain for round 2 of the Global Series MotoGP eSport in 2019, kicking off just a week ago at the Marco Simoncelli World Circuit in Massano, where we're treated to 2 superb races. Before we get the action underway tomorrow evening on Friday night at 7:30 with races right here, as you'll see, at Sepang and coincidentally at the circuit from which we'll be broadcasting from Motorland Aragon. We need to set the grids first and foremost, starting with a qualifying session for our race in Sepang. Currently on board with our championship leader, Christian MM17, the man that picked up a race 2 victory in Austria 7 days ago in Massano. A great ride from him, eventually ending well over 3 seconds clear, managed to escape trouble in the early laps before eventually breaking towards a comfortable victory. He's first in the championship, 12 points behind this man, AndrewZh. Started the Global Series in superb style with a win at Mugello, but then a bit of tyre trouble in the second race. He unfortunately went for the soft option rear tyre at the Red Bull Ring, which cost him dearly in the latter stages, which means that he eventually drifted back to 8th place, and as a result couldn't keep up with the likes of Christian MM17 and the other podium finishes. The man to the left of your picture there was just backed off Juan NH16, who came through from row 3 of the grid to take 2nd place at the Red Bull Ring, but he'll certainly be hoping to get his tyre choice correct tomorrow evening ahead of the races here at Sepang first and foremost, and then at Aragon as well. Juan NH16, well, he currently sits 3rd in the table as a result of his top 5 finish, 5th first time out in Mugello, and then backing it up with 2nd at the Red Bull Ring, and he was absolutely delighted with that one. I think he was actually slightly more pleased than our race winner, Christian MM17. Slightly muted celebrations from him, but a podium finish for Christian for Juan NH16 was celebrated quite wildly. He is currently sat on 31 points, on 29 points, 4th in the championship at the moment. Not the best start for this man, Trastevere 73, of course our 2-time 2017 and 2018 MotoGP eSport champion. Started with a podium finish at Mugello, 3rd place for him, and then backed it up with 4th place after getting, well, beaten up on the final lap by the rookie Moreira. He really should have held off the form of the Brazilian, given the amount of experience that he has, the factory Yamaha man, but a late lunge from the Brazilian on board the Pramac Ducati meant that he was able to take the final podium place in Austria, and as a result make sure that Trastevere coming into this one is 16 points behind our series leader after round 1, Christian MM17. We've got an early faller of Bomber as we start to see the first flying laps coming through. It was a disastrous opening round for Bomber, and he hasn't really got this second round up to the greatest start so far as well with the crash, but we've still got 11.5 minutes of this one remaining. We're now currently watching Adrian DP26, the older brother of our series leader Christian MM17, the real favourite coming into the series, having finished fastest in 5 of the 6 online challenges, was super quick in the final draft held at Qatar as well, but unfortunately just couldn't put it together once under the lights in Massano. He sits 5th in the championship on 24 points, 19 in arrears of his brother Christian MM17 at the moment, but a 4th place and a 5th place for him at the opening round certainly wasn't what he was expecting, given his form and pace that we've seen in the early stages of this 2019 MotoGP eSport Championship. He's going to set the first lap though. They've come out the final corner there, so we'll see what the marker is going to be. A 1:55.060 from Adrian DP26. Whip goes 2nd initially, then Juan NH there on the KTM in 3rd, and Moe aboard the LCR Castrol Honda was 5th, just gets bumped down because the new pace setter is our series leader, half a second quicker than his brother Christian MM17 for a great lap first time out. Still 10 minutes remaining. That's a good marker set by the number 25 of Christian MM17. A 1:54.5 is just about the best pace that we've seen through free practice earlier on today here at Aragon. I think that may even take some beating, but I'm sure we'll see some good laps coming in. Moreira is yet to set a lap, as is AndrewZh as well, and of course Bomber, who crashed out. He's gone straight down pit lane as a result of that early crash. So let's just see what Moreira can do. The Brazilian on board the Pramac Ducati Still waiting for him to come across the line. He's about halfway through the final sector at the moment. He'll probably be going down the back straight. Meanwhile, that first sector from Christian MM17 has gone grey, which means not likely to see an improvement. Well, definitely won't see an improvement now after he goes grey in the second sector as well. But as I say, that is a good lap coming from Christian MM17. A 154.5 may well take some beating. We're already seeing some track limits. You can see on the left-hand side of your picture the red exclamation mark, just signifying the fact that they've gone over track limits and this lap will be cancelled. So that's Adrian DP, Trastevere and Wimp all failing to improve this time around. Juan NH16 is on an improving lap time. Still waiting for Moreira to come through that final sector as well. Not sure if there's a couple of transponder issues on board that Pramac Ducati at the moment. He's just nearing the finish line now, and he bumps up to 10th just inside. Well, that's why it took so long. He's nearly 54 seconds off of the pace, so it was a substantially slower lap coming from the Brazilian. It's an improving lap as he comes across the line from the Indonesian rider. Moe managed to meet Cal Crutchlow in the LCR Castrol Honda, and he's just crashed out as well as he was trying to improve on this next lap as he got hard onto the brakes into the first corner. There's Eligo's 555 aboard the Repsol Honda, 8th at the moment after that first flying lap. How much has he got to find? Well over a second at the moment. Moreira's not going to improve after a crash for the rookie Brazilian. Mr. TFTW, the Australian there in 9th, for a good opening round for the rookie. As he said in Massano, he'd only bought the game 2 months ago, yet he finds himself a part of the Global Series. Quite happy just to enjoy the experience. He was expecting, and quite openly and honestly said he was going to finish last in all 6 of the races, but he's already beaten that one target after finishing 11th at the Red Bull Ring. Trastevere's come down pit lane and he's got a little bit of company as well. Christian MM17 just tucked in behind the 2-time reigning champion at the moment. Trastevere does have a big weekend ahead of him. He needs to beat Christian MM17 in probably both of the races on Friday night if he wants to get himself right back into contention for picking up a 3rd consecutive eSport championship title. Of course, double points at Valencia means that it won't be completely done and dusted if it doesn't go to plan tomorrow evening for the Italian, but it will certainly help him a long way if he can start to chip away at that 16-point deficit that he's currently facing, and that's a big high side from the Italian, just on the outside, possibly just touch the green, maybe even the grass, and the rear wheel of that Monster Energy Yamaha MotoGP machine came round him at quite a rate of knots, spat him over the top viciously. So he's not going to improve on this lap. It was only an out lap though, of course, having come out of pit lane with some new rubber aboard that Yamaha M1. Christian MM17, no such issues for him at the moment. I think he was probably going to try use the Italian as a bit of a marker on his flying lap, but he's not going to get that opportunity now. This is a big run coming up for AndrewZh as well. He's already on a flying lap, 2 personal improving sectors. It doesn't look like he's going to challenge that pole position time at the moment. And if Massano is anything to go by, pole position is absolutely crucial. Both pole sitters at Mugello and then at the Red Bull Ring went on to win the race. We saw just how hectic the opening laps are, both at Mugello and at the Red Bull Ring. So if you're in pole position, you can make a good start and stay out of trouble, then you can possibly just make a break from the guys behind. That's what both guys do. This man, AndrewZh in Mugello, and then Christian MM17 in Austria. Trastevere qualified on the front row in both races, but was unable to stay out of trouble, certainly at the Red Bull Ring. He really got bullied on the opening lap and we're out the race, as we've already touched on with Moreira, the trouble that he had with him. It's a good lap from AndrewZh, up to 2nd place, but still nearly 0.4 of a second behind Christian MM17. As we rightly thought, that was a superb lap coming from the factory Suzuki man first time out. Just over 5 minutes remaining for these guys to try and chip away. But it already looks like a difficult challenge to try and better that lap of Christian MM17. Finally, Bomber's able to settle up aboard the Petronas Yamaha SRT machine. Jumps himself up to 11th. Who else have we got improving at the moment? Well, AndrewZh has gone orange in that first sector. Adrian DP, 26, the man we're on board with now, has gone orange in the first and the second sector. We're hoping to see, well, everybody apart from Christian MM17 is hoping to see some red sectors that they can try and challenge that pole position lap time as it stands, but We're only seeing personal improvers. We'll probably stay with AndrewZh 26, having gone orange in first and the second sector, and then the third as well. We're into the final sector. This is a super tricky and technical corner, and super important as well to get the drive down the back straight that we're now on now. Just one corner left for AndrewZh 26 to try and get through. He'll be hard on the brakes, pushing that front end of the Suzuki, then flicks it left. He'll touch the apex on the inside, run slightly wide, and then touch it again on the inside and power his way towards the line. He's got half a second to try and better if he's to get in front of his brother. What can he do? He'll go second. Oh, he was super close as well. Less than a tenth away. 76 1,000ths of a second the difference. It was a lot closer than what we thought. So a good lap coming in from AndrewZh 26, but just not enough to be able to jump ahead of his brother on the timesheets. There's a good lap coming in from the KTM of 1NH, 2/10 away from Christian MM17 to take the final front row spot with under 4 minutes remaining. Now Trastevere on an improving lap time. Here comes the reigning world champion aboard the Monster Energy Yamaha. He's just going to go across the line now, and he jumps up to fourth. Not good enough to get himself onto the front row. So again, some possible issues coming away of the double world champion. Now with less than 4 minutes to go, there's not a lot of time for these guys to complete this lap and then put some new rubber in. They're going to have to be super quick to get around and try fit some new rubber, some soft rubber to try and challenge that lap. Moe's put a good first sector in. Has the Indonesian had a super consistent opening round by finishing 7th in the first race, 6th in the second. So if he can try and break into the top 5 here in Aragon, either at Sepang or at Motorland Aragon, I'm sure he'll be pleased with that performance. Currently sitting 6th in the championship standings after 2 rounds. He's gone orange in sector 2 as well. Ellie goes 5.55 aboard the Repsol Honda, gone orange in the first and the second sectors as well. So there's going to be improving lap times from both Hondas on the grid. Moe will be the first one to come across the line, so we'll stay in touch with him. Now flick left. It's a super technical, fast and flowing parts of the Sepang International Circuit from left to right, and then you stay on the right-hand side of the tyre before anchoring on the brakes. It's very easy to tuck the front there as you try and grab a little bit more brake, especially on these fast qualifying laps. Onto the curb on the left-hand side. He's inside track limits though. Down the back straight, hard onto the brakes now will be the Indonesian before going left for one final time. We've just got 2 minutes remaining, so he's going to get a chance to squeeze one more lap in if he has to. We'll see what good this lap does though. He looks like he's going to improve, but where will it put the Indonesian? Moe comes across the line and he jumps up 1 place to 7th, so he'll front row number 3 as things stand at the moment. Now on board with the Repsol Honda of Ellie goes 5.55. He's out of the final corner as well. 9th at the moment. Where will the Spaniard jump up to on the timesheets? 8th place for Ellie Ghost, 5.55. With only 1 minute and 45 seconds remaining, that's the best that we'll see from him. Here's Moreira across the line, podium finisher last time out, up to 11th, but that won't bother him whatsoever, having come through from exactly last place on the grid, 12th on the grid in the Red Bull Run, but still managed to finish in 3rd place. So he'll be hoping for another charge through from the back of the grid once we get to race time tomorrow. Are we going to see any final improvers in this final minute of the 15-minute session to set the grid for race 3 of the Global Series? Wimp was on for an improving lap time, but has gone over track limits, so his lap will be cancelled. We've now just exactly a minute remaining. Well, Trastevere, the world champion, has gone orange in that opening sector. That may well be the only challenge we see. Christian MM17 is winding up as he comes out of the final corner, so it's going to be one last lap to come from the series leader as well. He's got a 1:54.5 as his lap time that he said on his first flying lap at the moment. Will that be good enough to hold on to pole position for race 3 at Sepang by the time we get to tomorrow evening, or will he have to improve? So far, no red sectors popping up on our timing screens, but 1NH16 aboard the KTM, Trastevere aboard the Yamaha, and AndrewZh aboard the Ducati are both looking at improving. It's gone slightly awry for both the KTM and the Yamaha through that second sector. Looks like they may well have blown that opportunity. Christian MM17 unable to go faster than he did the first time around, and now he's exceeded track limits, so that's it. Christian MM17 will not improve. That 1:54.527 will be his best lap. The checkered flag is now out, so this is it. Trastevere has gone grey in sectors 2 and 3, so it looks like his challenge is over as well. AndrewZh, winner of the first race last time out, has gone orange in sectors 1 and 2, so he looks like the man that's probably best in line to challenge. We don't know exactly how much he's going to need to find in this final half of the lap. He'll go through sector 3 now, and that's good enough for improving lap time as well, so he may well find himself up onto the front row of the grid, but is it good enough to take pole position? Adrian DP26 has taken the checkered flag. Juan NH16 has taken the checkered flag. So that is your front row at the moment, but as we come into the final corner, the Ducati man is on an improving lap time here. He needs to find about a 1/10 of a second if he wants third. If he wants the middle of the front row, he's going to have to find a whole 3/10 of a second. Here comes Adesma Sadici across the line. AndrewZh goes pole. Oh, what a final sector from the Italian. It came from absolutely nowhere, but he's taken pole position by 56/1000ths of a second. Well, we did not expect that. But the Italian, the winner of the first race at the Mugello, has stolen pole position away from Christian MM17 with his final lap of this session. Drama at Sepang. It proves just how tight it is at the top as well, with just a 1/10 of a second separating our front row of the grid. Bomber's crashed out, so he will start the race from last place on the grid. Waiting to see Rioja across the line, not good enough to improve. So that is how we will line up for the race tomorrow evening here at Motoland Aragon for race 3 of the Global Series in Sepang. AndrewZh taking pole position with an absolutely storming final sector. 56/1000ths of a second clear of Christian MM17 as the checkered flag came out. The front row completed by the KTM of Juan NH, but what a qualifying session. Drama right till the end. And just like we saw in Mugello, it will be the Italian, the Ducati team rider, AndrewZh, to start from pole position. He managed to convert that into a race victory last time out. Can he do it the same on Friday night at 7:30? Tune in to find out. Here's confirmation of the grid for race 3 of the Global Series at Sepang. AndrewZh on pole position, only just though ahead of Christian MM17, with Adrian DP26 completing the front row. Juan NH16 will front row number 2, ahead of Trastevere and Wimp. Moe will front row number 3, ahead of the Repsol Honda of Eligos 555 and the Aprilia of Rioja. And the final row of the grid, the Australian, the rookie, Mr. TFTW, ahead of Mareja and Bomber 45 aboard the Petronas Yamaha.